Hi, so today I'm talking about the Aquarius Man and how to get with one. So an Aquarius Man is born anywhere between January 20th and February 18th. The symbol of the Aquarius Man is the water bearer, the element is air, and the quality is fixed. So the first thing that you should know about an Aquarius Man or any Aquarius is that they're just a big contradiction. So you might have a guy that is, very extroverted, but at the same time can just be totally shy sometimes, and it just doesn't make sense. So there's a lot of that going on with the Aquarius Man, like a lot of, he can be one way sometimes and another, and like other times, like he'll just be a contradiction to himself. The Aquarius Man is often, that guy that everybody's friends with, but nobody really knows. So everybody to an Aquarius Man might be a friend, like even somebody that he doesn't really like that much. He might just be like, oh, hey man, hey, how you doing, blah, 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 and like he's like not really that close to them. He usually has a warm energy which draws people towards him and makes them feel like he's their friend and comfortable around him. He's friendly to just about anybody, even people he doesn't like. And he'll usually have a sporty style, like a t-shirt and jeans. He'll be like a class clown. He might also have like a bad boy edge to him, like with his sporty style, like maybe he'll just have like one tattoo or some piercing, something like that. Also, like might always have like a mischievous look in his eyes, like twinkling, like just kind of like a bad boy, but still has that warm persona around him that makes you seem like you want to get to know him. He might have just met you, but he can be like very engaging, and he might be acting like he's really interested in what you have to say, and he might genuinely be interested in what you're saying, even if you guys just met and you just started talking. Like, this guy enjoys getting to know people, just not letting people get to know him. So even though the Aquarius Man is full of contradictions, regardless of that, he's usually liked right off the bat. This guy tends to be like popular with people and with women or men. Depending on his preference, he can be quite flirty. That doesn't necessarily mean he's interested. He's just kind of like a flirty guy in general. So it's just his natural personality. Though he tends to be popular and generally successful, an Aquarius Man is usually a bit off the beaten path. He's ruled by the planet Uranus, which is the planet that governs originality and sudden events, and this man isn't one for conventions. Though you might find him in a conventional setting, he usually brings his own flair to it in some way or another that is unconventional. And he likes to share creative insights and, innovative ideas, stuff like that. So, again, this type of the guy is the type who makes friends wherever he goes. Like, he always knows somebody or gets to know somebody. He's hard to get to know himself because he doesn't share anything and he keeps his emotions inside. So he's not the type to share his feelings. Instead, he's fascinated by discovering, the true feelings of other people, and it really interests him. But he might attract, bizarre relationship experiences. The Aquarius Man enjoys this. He enjoys his self-proclaimed role of, like, figuring people out and getting to understand them. So don't be fooled if an Aquarius Man seems to take a special interest in knowing your life story. This might sound kind of harsh, but he might just be interested in hearing about your life story and might not genuinely care about you. I know that sounds so mean. It does. Aquarians have a hard time with intimate relationships because at first it's so difficult for them to, tap into and express their emotions. They're not quite like, say, the Capricorn who is aware of the fact that they might have, like, deep emotions that they're sharing and keeping private. The Aquarian Man is more just not comfortable with even thinking about it himself. Like, he's not the type who's thinking about, guarding his emotions and keeping everything private. He just does, naturally. Aquarian men can easily detach themselves from their emotions, so in order to focus on what he considers important, like his goals and his visions for the future and that sort of thing, he might not focus on his emotions, and he's just naturally able to detach himself from them. But Aquarian men, one of the reasons they are able to detach from emotions is because they kind of see them as shameful and embarrassing, and it's one of the reasons why they have trouble expressing them, and they've kind of just grown up feeling like, You know, like the old adage, like, you know, men don't cry. Like, that's kind of how an Aquarian man feels. Like, they don't want to be open with their emotions because it's embarrassing and it's something that they don't think is right to share. So that's why a lot of these men are able to detach later in life or as they get older, even like teenagers, young adults, because of that. So it's not always a good thing. Like I said, it makes it difficult to be in a relationship with a guy that, you know, doesn't like share anything about himself and is just the type who won't talk about feelings and stuff like that. So Aquarian men can be hard to get into a serious relation with. Aquarian men tend to be optimists. They also tend to be great teachers. They like to teach people things because, like I said, they're the type that attract experience and new things and, you know, different things and, like, you know, quirky lifestyles and all that sort of stuff. So they like to share this with others. You know, it's hard for them to settle down because they're so enraptured by experiencing life and making it better. So this guy likes the type of woman that doesn't need a man to be content with her life. This man likes a woman who has a really strong identity. He likes a woman who isn't afraid to voice her opinion, and even if it's radically different from his own, he'll appreciate her more if she's willing to share her opinion and willing, you know, to get in a fight with him over it rather than hide her opinion in order to avoid an argument. He appreciates a woman with character and who really knows who she is and what she wants. You know, he likes a woman that he can kind of like brag about and just like tell his friends and his family about her accomplishments and all the wonderful things she's done. So I know that's kind of like a tough shoe to fill, but that's the Aquarian man and that's what he likes sometimes, unless he's contradicting himself. You know, the Aquarian man is the type of guy that has just seen it all. You know, he's been everywhere that you haven't and blah blah blah, and some part of me thinks that Aquarians can kind of be one-uppers. Sorry, but they can. If you can show him something that he hasn't seen or he hasn't experienced, he will definitely be interested in you, at least for a bit of time. Okay, so this Aquarian man, you know, doesn't like a needy partner in a relationship. He's really more about like an equal minds relationship, like a relationship of just equality. And that's what he enjoys and appreciates. He'll love to experience new things and with you and share his experiences with you. He can offer a lot of his own, and like I said, you know, he likes to teach things, so he might like teach you things if you're in a relationship together, like, oh, I learned this today, or let me show you this thing I learned like 10,000 years ago when I was an archaeologist. I know that makes no sense. If you can kind of teach him things and offer your own experiences, that'll be a big turn on. Like, don't expect him to be the leader of the relationship. Expect it to be equal. So like I said, an Aquarius man is full of contradictions. So I've just gone on and on about how he wants a woman that's sure of himself, knows who she is, wants an equal partner, an equal relationship. Another thing an Aquarian man likes is a woman who has a little bit of a vulnerable side and is a little unsure of herself at times. That makes no sense, but it's true. Aquarius men themselves can sometimes be shy and insecure. I know, even though I already told you that they're friends with everybody and they're outgoing and that. Yep, I know. They can be shy and insecure at the same time as being outgoing and confident, which, again, that's an Aquarian. Just deal with it. So if you want to know if an Aquarius man is into you, if this guy, you know, is into you, he wants the type of woman that's a go-getter. He wants to brag to his friends, like I said, about you. He wants somebody that doesn't mind learning something new, somebody that doesn't mind being taught things. You know, like a Sagittarius, an Aquarian man enjoys adventure and travel and is attracted, you know, to like fit athletic types because he enjoys to be active and explore and that sort of thing. I'm not saying every Aquarius man is in shape, but usually you'll find that Aquarius men's type tend to be like in shape, fit women. Not necessarily skinny, but like someone that works out. As independent as he likes to feel accepted in some way, and he's not the type of guy that likes, you know, you to make fun of him. He also won't respond well to pressure in a relationship, like, you know, you're pressuring him to get married or have children. Like, he needs to decide that on his own because he's independent, but he also needs acceptance. But he doesn't want to be pressured into anything in a relationship, and that's definitely a turn off to him. If this guy likes you, He will almost always become your friend before he becomes anything else. Like, he's the type that wants to get to know you, like I said, and as he's doing that, you two start to become best friends. And this guy usually is the type to take a best friend and turn it into a relationship. So, not always, but almost always. Like, a lot of the time. So, other ways that you can tell if an Aquarius man likes you, he might seem nervous around you and move around and fidget a lot around you. He'll probably show off around you, kind of like a little boy. And he might start teaching you things, like I said, or he'll start giving you advice about life, or like you'll find that he, in all that he's learned about you while getting to know you, he'll start to like give you his advice on what you should do about things, and he'll become involved in your life and say, hey, if you're dating somebody, I don't know, that guy doesn't seem right for you. Like, I don't know, maybe you should think about breaking up with him. Stuff like that. He'll be very interested in getting to know you. He'll ask you all sorts of, like, totally invading personal questions and, like, not even bat an eyelash or think it's weird. And then if you ask him, like, one question, he'll, like, turn the tables and, like, not answer it or, like, change the subject, turn it back to you. Like, it's just weird. At least he's listening to you and getting to know you and listening to your thoughts and feelings. He's just not going to share his own. Sorry. So, if he is really interested in you, he'll become protective of you, like, the more he likes you. So if you start to notice that, then this guy's probably definitely into you. He can be really sappy one minute and then gets cold and needs space the next minute. But the only reason he'll act like that is because he's kind of trying to see, like, he'll test you to see how you react. It's just something that an Aquarian man does when they start to, like, actually fall for somebody. They might, like, test their reactions and how they're going to act and stuff like that. In terms of compatibility and with an Aquarius man, I mean, as usual, like I say in, like, every video, Aquarius with an Aquarius could work or could be awful. Okay, so just because I'm talking about compatibility of sun sign to sun sign, if you look at people's birth charts, they're so intricate that you can't just look at sun sign to sun sign for compatibility. So I know a lot of people are like, you say I can't be with a Taurus, but I am, and it seems to be working out. Like, that's fine. There's probably elements in your birth charts that match up. So I just want to point that out. So back to sun sign compatibility, though, just to give you, like, a general broad idea. Aquarius with the Capricorn or Pisces, there's going to be some friction. It's kind of like just people that have a hard time getting along. But there might also be, like, awesome chemistry in the bedroom. I don't know. So, Aquarius with a Sagittarius or an Aries. Again, this is the one, like, you just kind of get along right off the bat. There can be, like, a friendship going, and it's kind of easy to date, but you got to kind of try to keep the spark alive. In Aquarius with a Scorpio or a Taurus, that's kind of a hard one. Just because there's going to be, like, a hard time for you guys to get along. Okay, so Aquarius with, like, a Gemini or Libra. Those tend to be, like, a good match. They have an easy time getting along. It's kind of just, like, what feels right, and kind of, like, the soulmate match. Aquarius with a Cancer or Virgo. This is, like, it could work or it couldn't. I mean, it probably will end up working, but it will always kind of seem like, wow, how did we end up together? Like, opposites attract sort of combination, but it could be a good compatibility for Aquarius with those signs. So an Aquarius with a Leo, which is the opposite end of the spectrum, so you got like Aquarius, Leo. Again, this is like the thing where it could really, really be bad and crash in flames, or it could really work out well and you'll both be very happy. So that's just like a broad thing of compatibility. I know a lot of you asked me questions about that, and I do want to go more into depth about compatibility in later videos, so just stay tuned, I guess. So that's what I have to say about the Aquarius man. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, check out videos on men of other sun signs. I'm almost done talking about all the men of the zodiac, so I'm not sure if I'm just going to switch gears and do something completely different for a few videos, or if I'm going to go right into the women and their sun signs. So, it's only fair. Aquarians would think it was fair. So, anyways, I'm done being cheesy for the day, but anyways, like I said, hope you enjoy and have a great day or night.